So that's why one of the reasons it is needed this parish of Ge'ez in order to serve them in their Eastern tradition.
Very good, very good. Quite informative. Is there anything else you could relate to us on that? Make us aware of all these rites that you mentioned?
Well, I would like to mention that the Ge'ez Church is very old church in history. We are one of the oldest Christians in history. If you remember, I'm sure you might have read in Acts of the Apostles, the first Ethiopian to be baptized by Saint Philip the deacon in Acts of the Apostles, chapter 8. You may read that. And since that time, we claim to be almost that old Christians we are. However, here in the United States, we are the last one to be established. So we are
predominantly small, you mean?
We are very small. Our population mostly are also economically marginal. We have so many refugees who came to this country without adequate education or with very little means. So even though there are some highly educated, but they may not hold a good job.
By increase of communications, they probably will be joining.
Yes.
Don't you think?
So yeah. So because of that, we are in trying to really evangelize our migrants and refugees, and now also naturalized citizens from Ethiopia and Eritrea living in the Washington metropolitan area and beyond. So we definitely, for 15 years since we were established, thanks to Cardinal Hickey, under his sponsorship and auspices, this mission party was established as St. Gabriel in 1984. And however, since 1984, we do not have a permanent church or permanent facility where to conduct effective evangelization programs. So at this time, we are in process of conducting capital campaign to establish, after 15 years and a half, to have a permanent worshiping place and a pastoral center for these two nationalities from Eritrea and Ethiopia, and to also evangelize effectively this group of migrants and newcomers to this country.
Very good. At the present time, how many migrants do you think you have as members now or belong to the evangelism?
Well, as Catholic population at this time, I can tell you how.
Yeah.
In 1994, we started with 50 Catholics, and now we are over 1,600 Catholics in the Washington metropolitan area, just to mention Washington metropolitan area. So to mention the growth rate, we just have close to 350 baptisms in 15 years and a half. So that means it shows how the community is growing, and the Catholic population is growing in the area. So we definitely need a church, a permanent church, and plus we also we have shortage of personnel for ministry. So we are planning, to get women religious to help us in the ministry, because we have tremendous pastoral challenges for youth, for children, for elderly who do not speak the English language, but also for children who are born and grown in this country, but their language is English now. So we are tremendously challenged how to meet effectively the pastoral challenges. So in a way, we are really looking for to American Catholics to show us some kind of solidarity.
We hope
to achieve our dreams of establishing a permanent home church, and plus also to have enough adequate, personnel for ministry in order to serve the people effectively.
Well, Father, you mentioned James Cardinal Hickey as one of your main sponsors. Does that mean only the people in Washington, D.C. are accepting these migrants here, or is it other sections of the country?
Well, as a matter of fact, I was assigned in 1983 to start a mission to Ethiopians and Eritreans. So in fact, I represent the Ethiopian and Eritrean Episcopal Conference. So my ministry, my apostolate, and my mission is not also limited to the local area, but also to national responsibility. I have too.
Tremendous, Father.
Because of that, I've been traveling to various states and promoting and raising consciousness in the different dioceses, and also having itinerary ministry, occasional ministry, like in Columbus, Ohio, Atlanta, Denver, Colorado, Dallas. I've been.
And would that be considered missionary work? Would you be considered as a missionary doing all these traveling around the United States?
Well, I myself was assigned. In fact, my title was missionary priest.
Missionary. Priest, that's what I mean. Very good. Very
good. So, however, in the local area, under the auspices of the Archdiocese of Washington, we have this Kidane-Mehret Ge'ez Catholic Church, which is Catholic parish, mission parish, even though we do not have our own facility and building, but we are recognized by the Archdiocese as a Eastern Rite parish, and we are listed in the Archdiocesan directory under the Eastern Rite parishes. So you may look at.
That's very good. Very informative. I really appreciate it. I'm sure a TV audience is really enjoying this information you're giving all of us. I'm really very impressed by it all. But do you know where it's going to keep expanding, or is it going to just have certain areas and then only confined to certain areas, or is it going to keep spreading all the way around the Europe and various countries?
Well, mostly in here in the United States, the population is growing, and I personally, I'm limited myself mostly to the Washington metropolitan area because of we have a regularly operating parish in Washington, D.C., and that is
the central location.
Yeah, the central location, and this covers Northern Virginia and the suburb of Maryland and District of Columbia, this Kidane-Mehret Parish, but it is located in Washington, D.C. However, eventually in the long run, we hope to expand our mission. We have satellite places, some Eritrean or Ethiopian priests also providing some occasional ministry or as a part-time on their spare time in other states. So at this time, however, we have only this in Washington, D.C., which is of its kind to operate, to function for over 15 years as a parish regularly. But eventually, however, we will, in fact, in Canada, in Toronto, there is another priest assigned, and so there is another mission in Canada, and also we have other mission like similar in London, and also in Germany, in Rome, Italy, and some parts of Italy. So basically, this because our people are in diaspora all over the world.